people ask you to keep winning and they keep pulling pieces out. That's hard to do. Bird's been an integral part of this team.
Well, and I think certainly Sandy understands that we've got to win some games here also. But sometimes you just can't turn down deals, and I certainly get that. But I think it's if Marlon Bird goes, it's going to be because we're going to get the best end of a deal.
All right, Satton's done everything right, and I know you want to play Ike. I know you don't like to use the word platoon, but boy, this guy's earned. You talk about it being a meritocracy and earning your right to play. This guy's earned the right to play.
Yeah, he sure has. And I will tell you what, I said I don't want it to be a platoon, but right now that's the way it's going to have to be, Mike. This guy's got to play against left-handed pitching. He's got great numbers offensively, not just not just hits, but he gets on base. You look up, he's always standing at first base, and so I got to get him in there, and Ike understands that. But I think between the two of them, certainly I hope the production at first base really picks up.
Now, is that actually make it easier for Ike to try to only come back now against right-handed pitching? That probably will make the process a little easier for him, right?
I hope so, because that is exactly how we got it going last year. You remember, when we were going to send Ike out last year and we decided not to, one of the things we said is, look, we're going to have to platoon at first base, and it got him going. And he had the second half he had. So I'm hoping that we have a replication of last year.
What do you think of Lagares now that you've had him this long?
Well, I think, again, he's got a high ceiling. Obviously, his defense is off the charts. We got to get him to be a little bit more disciplined at the plate. And, we've talked to him about that. He's very well aware of it. He works very, very hard at it. He just gets, if he gets behind the count, he just all of a sudden, opens up the strike zone and he overswings a little bit. But I really like his future. I think he's going to be a very, very good player here.
Quintanilla's done a good job for you. What's Tejada's status? What does Tejadas have to show you guys in the minors to come back?
Well, Mike, to be bluntly honest, he's got to show us what he did 3 years ago when he was in the minor leagues when he first got here and stayed when Jose got hurt and came up and played great. I don't know what happened to him, but he's a fly ball hitter. He was never a fly ball hitter. He's become a fly ball hitter. I don't know if he's trying to hit homers. I don't know if he thinks he needs to produce runs. But this guy came up as a solid defender and as good offensively as you would want out of a middle infielder. He hit the ball. He line drive hitter, worked the count, tough to strike out. And he just this year he's just gotten away from it. So I think while he's in Vegas, when he regains the form that we know he has at the plate and in the field, we know he's a solid defender. It's a tough place to play out there. That's a tough field to play on. But you know what? He's got the hands to do it. And when they relayed to us that they think he's ready, he'll be back up here.
Now, quietly, Torres has been very good for you guys in the pen. He's really found a home there. You lose Markham now. Are you gonna move Torres into the rotation? Is that your plan?
Well, until we get John Neese back, we are, Mike. He's, he got here because of the job he was doing in Vegas in the rotation. Had 3 outstanding outings before we recalled him. He's just carried it over into our bullpen, and it saved us in some games where we've needed some.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been good too.
But so we're gonna get him in the rotation of Markham's spot, and hopefully we'll see what happens when John Neese gets back.
All right. Couple of things. Hefner's been sensational, out of nowhere. I mean, and give the kid credit. He stood up last year, and I still remember the game where he needed to where he didn't get an out and came back the next game and pitched really well. That said a lot about him. He's showing a lot more depth and a lot more toughness than probably anybody would have thought was in him. Has the organization's opinion changed on Hefner? I mean, has he now become a guy who's part of the foundation here?
I think, Mike, if you talk to people in the organization, that's exactly what you're hearing is so far what this guy has done this year. You look forward and you say, look, this guy's got to be a piece of it. Even if he's the number 4, number 5 guy.
7 starts, he's got the best ERA in baseball.
And I'll tell you what, and he works at it. Early in the year he was giving up home runs, came in, we had a conversation. He said, I know I got to keep the ball in the ballpark. And all he's done is gone out and worked on the command of his stuff. And
I tell you, never makes excuses after the game either. He always faces the music and he never makes excuses.
Nope, he knows exactly what he does, and you know what? Right now, when he makes a mistake, it's in the dirt, and I think you're seeing the results.
I tell you, that's a guy who's really. You talk about a guy coming together. I mean, G has, but so has Hefner. Hefner's been sensational. I know G was wild last night. Let me get to Wheeler before I'll save Harvey for last. Let me get to Wheeler. Frankly, I have to tell you, I know he throws real hard. He does not look like he should be here right now in my mind from what I've seen, Terry. I don't think he's got enough of a repertoire yet. Does he? Am I missing something, or are those other pitches there?
Well, Mike, they're there. I mean, one night, the game in Chicago, his curveball was better than the slider. He hanging his slider. His slider, they told us in the minor leagues, was really his second-best pitch. We have seen a better curveball than we have a slider so far. Now, what that relates to for me is that he's trying to overthrow his slider. But the thing we've told him is, listen, you have got to pitch with your fastball. You have got to move the fastball, or even if you miss once in a while, you've got to let them know they're going to see fastballs. And if they do, now once in a while, if you hang a slider or you don't get a break, you don't get your curveball down, because you got to speed their bats up, you're going to get some balls that are going to be hit off the end of the bat. They may get a hit, but they're not going to be sitting on that off-speed stuff because they think that's how you can throw for strikes. So, and it's a work in progress.
Right.